What's up, guys? It's your girl Ray here, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome to the lovely family. Hi guys, good morning guys. What's up guys? It's your girl Ray here, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a long time, but some things happened. I lost my memory card to my camera and I just found it today. So yeah, this video is gonna be kind of like a mukbang, but not, because the only reason it'll be a mukbang is because I have my dinner here. But I'm gonna be doing a lot of different things in this video due to the fact that I want to, and when I envisioned myself making this video literally like 3 hours ago, that's what I was doing, which was, you know, the absolute most. The food was a last minute addition because I got hungry, so. But I have been binge watching. So I have been binge watching some YouTubers college move-in vlogs and move-out vlogs, like the move-in day and move-out day and blah blah blah. And you know, so I watched some roommate horror stories. Unfortunately, I don't have any roommate horror stories because I barely had roommates. So like, the worst horror story I would have is about a girl that I later ended up becoming friends with. Yeah, there are no hard feelings. I mean, I don't hold grudges. It wasn't like a negative environment for me to be in or whatever. So I don't know, but I'm just gonna be talking about what I wish I knew before going to college. So as soon as I'm done applying my lip gloss, because you know your girl's lips were chapped. Well, this is more lip balm rather than gloss, but yeah. Cool. So I graduated high school at 17 years old, and I moved away to college, but I didn't just move away. I'm from Texas, Houston to be exact, Katy area. However, I moved not just away to college, I moved halfway across the country to college, and I moved to an Ivy League HBCU with no family nearby, no family here in Virginia at all. Yeah, so, and I was just 17 years old, and I came out here because I got a scholarship to the school. Let's be real, I got a scholarship to the school. It's the only school I got accepted into, but to be fair, it was the only school that I actually finished an application for. So it's a good thing that I got accepted, because I only filled out one college application. Before getting to college, there are some things that I wish I would have known. I didn't actually write these things down. I was just, by the way, my hair has hair lotion in it. I just washed it. All that good stuff. All that good jazz. All that jazz. Hey now. But some things that I wish I would have known before going off to college. Did I not bring my scissors? One moment. A few things I wish I would have known before going to college. I don't know, because I didn't necessarily struggle that hard with in my college career, but like there are some things that like caught me off guard. Like, for one, I didn't actually learn about what an HBCU was until I was going to one. And for those of you who don't know what an HBCU is, HBCU stands for historically black college or university. So I went to an HBCU. Now, remind you, the only reason I heard of my school, my university, is because during college and career day at my school came all the way down to Texas and held like a little table, a really small table that not too many people even went to. And my mom was there. This was the only college and career day I have ever participated in. The only one. And my school hosted these things like every year, multiple times a year. And this just so happened to be the only one that I have gone to. And I went, and my school was there. My future college at this point was there, and my mom knew what the college was, but I didn't. And so she told me to go over to the table and like pick up some information. So I go over there and I pick up some information, but like it's like a brochure, you know, like every other school does, but it's a brochure that I ended up never really actually looking through. I actually just went and then I picked it up and gave it to my mom. But they also had like little cards, like little square cards where you could put all your information on there. You know, you put like your name, what school you go to. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is for the whole district. But I also could be mistaken and it was just for my school. Who knows? It wasn't at my actual high school, which is why I am a little confused. And this was also back in 2012. That was a long time ago. Dang. So I go pick it. I fill out the little card, the little information card. And on the information card, like I put my name, I put what school I went to. I think I put my student ID. I'm not sure. I don't think that information was necessary for them to know. But I also put my GPA. And my GPA at the time was, or my cumulative GPA for that year was a 5.4712. It was a 5.7142. So my GPA was pretty high. It was pretty above average. I stayed on honor roll for most of my high school tenure. And yeah, I filled out the application. So then I got home and, you know, come time to fill out the application to colleges, I filled out that application, and to be fair, I think I finished. I'm not even sure if I did everything that I was supposed to do for that application process. I either didn't finish the whole thing, or like, I'm not even sure, because I don't even remember finishing that application, to be fair. But when it was time to, you know, receive college letters and blah blah blah, I think I got my letter pretty early on, and it was an offer letter to become a student, but they also gave me an academic scholarship because I had such a high GPA. And to be fair, once again, I know for a fact that I did not send off applications to any other schools, which is another, but I was so happy because I was going out of state for college, which is what I've always wanted. I remember talking about that since I think I was like in middle school, talking about if I have to go to college, then I will be going out of state for college. I won't be staying in Texas for sure. And I knew for a fact from early on, I think I was still in elementary school, when I knew for a fact that I was going to be a music major. when I got to college, because my mom always said, I asked my mom, did I have to go to college, and she was like, everybody doesn't have to go to college, but you are going to college. And so I went. I became a music major. I went out of state. It didn't matter that the school that I went to wasn't actually the school that I wanted to go to. I actually went to this school for my mom, because she wanted me to go to an HBCU, and I got accepted into one, and I didn't even try out for any other schools, because I also felt like, why even bother if she wants me to go to whatever specific school? How about I make us both happy? How about I make us both happy, and I go to the school that you want me to go to, and I go for what I want to go for, you know, all that good stuff. Or I major in whatever I want to major in, you know, that kind of thing. I get there and I tried out to be a dancer, because I grew up as a dancer. I was on the dance team in middle school and in high school. I started dancing at the age of 8, if I'm not mistaken. So I remember, I think I was a cheerleader first and then became a dancer, but I loved dancing more than cheering, for sure. But I didn't make the team because college dance teams, especially HBCU college dance teams, you have to look a certain way, because you have to be able to fit a certain uniform. So I didn't make the team because I couldn't dance, because I could and I was better than a lot of them. I didn't make the team because I was too big. So I went for band camp, which was a stressful 2 weeks. And not just stressful, a stressful and painful 2 weeks. When I tell y'all 2 weeks, I did not sleep well at night because I was so sore every single day. And like, I would run like 4 to 5 miles a day, and I was only used to running 1 mile a day. Not only that, but like the extensive training of like stadiums and like all of the conditioning that we did, and we had rehearsal like I think 4 times a day, and it was like 2 hours on, 2 hours off until the very last rehearsal. The very last rehearsal was like 4 to 6 hours long for no reason. So yeah, it was like a legit boot camp, and I'm gonna be honest, I toned up a lot in that 2 weeks, and I actually kept it going for months after school started. I remember the whole first semester was dedicated to like me working out 2 to 3 hours a day at night. So like I would have my classes during the day, and at night I would go run a mile or two and do stadiums. I do a lot of abs, a lot of legs. The only thing I never worked on was my arms. That was literally the only thing I never worked on. And I lost a lot of weight that year too. But then I went home for Christmas break, and so I couldn't keep it up. But what I wish I knew, now during band camp, I had a roommate. We all had a roommate. But we only had the roommate for the first week of band camp, because on the weekend was move-in day for us to move into our actual dorms, in which I had a single dorm, which means that I had a 1-bedroom dorm, so I didn't have a roommate. However, in my dorm, I still lived on a floor full of people, but I was the only person on my floor, because I was on the second floor. I was the only person on my floor that had a 1-bedroom, that had a single, and I brought my fish. His name was RJ. R.I.P. RJ, I miss you like crazy. I think about you all the time. But yeah. So during band camp, my band camp roommate, I was actually pretty friendly with her. Like, I never disliked her, but we were on two very different ends, two very broad different ends. Like, there was too much space. It was like, this is me over here, but over here it's like 1,000 miles that way, and this is her over here, and she was like 1,000 miles that way. And that's where our personalities were, because I'm super quiet. I don't even have a friend circle at this point. My friends are, it's just 2 of them, so we 3 make a triangle. Like, But my band camp roommate, she's a person that she has a lot of friends. She's very social. She is a socialite altogether. I think in her career now, she's a socialite. That's what she does for a living. And like, good kudos to her, because she gets to travel a lot and everything and have, you know, fun all the time. But she gets to have her kind of fun. And her kind of fun and my kind of fun are two different kinds of fun. Plus you have two people that don't know each other. She was from New York, I was from Texas. We have nothing in common because we just like two different things. Because we just like different things altogether, and we're two different people. So I guess this brings me to the first thing that I really wish that I knew before going to college, and that would be how to, I guess, communicate with people, or like how to get along with a roommate, or, you know, how to, because I'm not, you know, my brother, I grew up with my brother. My brother is almost 8 years older than me. So I like, growing up, I didn't even have my own friends. I didn't have friends at all until I got to high school. But even then, I only had my one friend, and then everybody else was acquaintances, in which we all went to each other's houses, but like, we didn't actually brew like real friendships out of that. Some friends, yes, we did make real friendships out of, you know, we were all on the dance team, but it was like, what else do we have in common? Because once again, they were more so party people, and I'm not that type of person. It's just kind of one of the things that, like, it went with like how I was raised and everything. And I was just not a person that just goes out and like talks to everybody. Like, I'm an introvert, but I will still talk to you if I find you friendly. And it's not that I didn't find my roommate friendly. It was, I knew that she was never gonna be like my type of friend. Just because, like, just being in the same room with her, neither one of us tried to make conversation. Like, she spent hours on the phone with her boyfriend in the middle of the night. And like in the mornings, the most communication I would have with her was in the mornings, because we had to be up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Because that's when we started. We had to get ready, get dressed, and we had to get started for rehearsal. Or for band camp, boot camp, whatever you want to call it. And she would just let her alarm go off, because like she would be on top of her phone and her alarm is going off and she's not answering it. And so the most I would say to this girl in the day is like, I would say, hey, your alarm is going off. And then she would turn it off, and that'd be it. So, or like, I would get up and get dressed, and she would still be in bed, and so I would say, we gotta be there in like 15 minutes. And then she would get up. But other than that, like, we didn't have like actual conversations. And like, she was really nice, she was really sweet. Like, I still like was very cordial and very nice to her throughout our entire college tenure, because I mean, we ran into each other all the time, and like, she knew that I was a nice person, but it's like she also knew that I wasn't her type of people, if that makes sense. So we weren't gonna be friends like that. We were just never gonna be friends, but we were always friendly. I wish I would have known like how to communicate with people, because I was such a loner growing up that I only knew how to be alone, and I didn't know how to deal with a roommate situation. I've never had to share my room or my personal space with anyone. I never had to, you know, be so close in such a confined area with another person as our living quarters. So like, I didn't know how to operate that whole week. So I just knew how to be on time, get things done, because that's all that I really knew how to do growing up. Another thing that I wish I would have known before going there is like how many people are going to be living in a building together, and like how many people are going to be on a floor together. I didn't like living in a dorm my first year, but I didn't hate it either, because one of my closest friends for my first few years of college was a girl that lived across the hall from me, and her roommate was also a really close friend of mine at the time. because we both did band camp together. So yeah, that's kind of, I just wish that I knew how many people were living on our floor and how many people were living in the building, because like there were so many, especially on my end of the hallway, there were so many fights for some reason. But like, and then one fight was really bad where like it was one of the girls from across the street. It was across the hallway. It was her best friend, and like I was basically friends with them by association or acquaintances. Like, love them all. They're all great people. But like they were getting into it with her roommate's friends who were across the hall and a few doors down from me, and that was just a big brawl out. And like I like had to go take people to like their floor and sit there and listen to them vent for hours and hours before I left. So because I wanted to make sure that they weren't gonna come back downstairs and start it all up again. So I was just trying to make sure everybody was good, everybody was in their rooms, everybody was safe, you know. And then I didn't want them to be so unhappy going to bed and everything. I'm not gonna tell all their business because that's not my story to tell, but I just wanted to make sure everybody was good. Another thing I kind of wish I would have known. Dang it, I forgot it. But yeah, I just really wish that I would have known how many people are on my floor, because also my floor in the building, because also my floor was one of 2 floors, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a 4-floor building. I think that my floor and the very top floor, I think, or was it the 2nd and the 3rd floor? I was on the 2nd floor. I know for sure my floor had washers and dryers, and it only had 4 washers and 4 dryers in there. So think of, you know, each floor, it's 2 floors that have washer and dryers though, for sure. I just can't remember which one the 2nd one was. But 4 floors, so basically you have 2 floors full of people sharing 4 washers and dryers. Overall, it'll be 8 washers and dryers, because I think the other floor had 4 and 4 too. So you have the whole building sharing 8 washers and dryers. But like people were being so inconsiderate and like leaving their clothes in the washing machine or leaving their clothes in the dryer for days on end, and so nobody can actually use it. And then we get mad if somebody moved their stuff. Like after a while I got sick of waiting on people, so of course if there's nothing free and I notice that something has been sitting there for a while, I'm gonna move it, because this ain't your house. You gotta share it with hundreds of other people. And like I lived in an all-girls dorm. There was only one co-ed dorm, and it was for honor students, in which that's the dorm that most of us lived in for band camp when we first got there. Excuse me. Another thing that I wish I would have known was like our shower situation. So like my mom knew that I was gonna need shower shoes. I have never heard of a shower shoe in my life until going to college. Reason being is because we had community showers. And what community showers are, it's like showers on each floor. That means everybody on that floor uses that shower, uses that bathroom. And like the community showers had, I think 4 stalls in them. My memory of this is really bad. But it didn't have that many stalls, and it only had like 2 or 3 showers in there. I think it was 3. But yeah, my dorm used to be a boys dorm or a men's dorm that they converted to a female dorm. But like, so all of the other female dorms have tubs, but we didn't have tubs because we used to be a male dorm. And so we just had the men's showers, and boy, I tell you, it was rough in there. It was rough, real rough. I wish I had carpet in my room for sure though. Like watching some of y'all's move-in vlogs, move-in day vlogs and stuff, and seeing y'all's dorms. For one, y'all's dorms were a hell of a lot nicer. For one, y'all's dorms were a hell of a lot nicer than ours on our campus. But to be fair, my school was built in like 1868, and all of the buildings are extra old, and they just never really bothered renovating because they feel like it's gonna lose its historical background and precious memories that none of us were there to experience anyway. But I wish I would have known what to like take and what to leave home, because as far as wardrobe goes, I brought, of course, my Texas clothes. I didn't bring wardrobe for like the climate of Virginia. I brought the climate of Texas, which is hot year round. Get here and it snows it has snowed every single year, except for, it snowed every single year. I've been living here now, and this is I've been living here since 2013 of August. So in August it'll be 6 years. But I wish I would have known that basically it would not help if I brought my Texas clothes. I may as well just buy a whole new wardrobe here, because the clothes up here were made for this climate, and the clothes in Texas were made for Texas climate. So over half of my clothes I didn't even use because they were too warm. They were like, as in they were for warm weather and not cold weather, where it's cold like 7-8 months out of a year and only hot for like 3 or 4. And that middle air, and a lot of them it's like jumping between cold and hot for random reasons, like just being disrespectful. But I don't know. Because my sophomore year, I lived in a much better dorm. I lived in McGrew Towers, which used to be a hotel. Even though the rooms still didn't have carpet, I lived in a suite style hotel where like each floor, it was 9 floors. Each floor had their own quads, and it had 4 different quads on each corner of the floor basically. But it's like a maze to walk through, so don't think it's something easy. But in each quad there were 4 rooms, which means 8 people, and then there was 1 or 2 bathrooms. I think each quad had 1 bathroom, and we all share, but it's like 8 people in 1 bathroom. That's just if we had roommates. I started off with a roommate. We weren't roommates for more than like 2 weeks though, because this is the girl that like I later became friends with. She tried to like kick me out of our room, and because she wanted somebody else to be her roommate, and she was like, so this is the most she's ever said to me the 2 weeks that we've lived together. She said, here's the thing, and brought the girl up to my room. She goes, she was supposed to be my roommate, excuse me, but instead they put her room downstairs, which first things first, that means she wasn't supposed to be your roommate, because if she was, then she would be your roommate. Second thing, she goes, they put her room downstairs. She doesn't have a roommate. Keep that in mind. So she says, we're thinking, so I want to move her up here, and you can move down to her room and you'll have the whole room to yourself, and I'll even help you move. Why would you do that? For one, you're not touching my stuff. This is what I was thinking at the time. For one, you're not touching my stuff. Two, you're not kicking me out of my room. Three, why don't you move down there since she has no roommate? Therefore, only one person would be moving versus two people moving. So I didn't even say anything. I just looked at her. And then I think actually I may have just said okay. Or knowing me, I probably was just like okay. And with a dead face, because that's me all the time. But or at least that's me when I hear stupidity. So then they leave the room. I don't hear back from her. I don't see her for like another week. And then suddenly I start noticing that that more and more of her stuff, little by little, is moving out of the room. Until one day she just moves out of the room. So she decided to move down with old girl, because obviously that makes more sense than trying to move me out and move old girl in. Now I kind of wish that, like, watching other people's like college vlogs, I kind of wish that my college experience was similar to that. But then again, a lot of these people are going to PWIs, and a lot of things are just different. Like PWIs have sorority houses. HBCUs don't, especially not mine. I wish I had a sorority house. I'm also a lot more socially experienced than I was first coming here. So like, now I make friends wherever I go, or like acquaintances, or at least people that I hang out with for like while I'm there, especially when I'm working and stuff, because it just makes it so much more fun to go to work and everything. And I wish that I had that when I first moved out here, but since I didn't, then oh well. But I wish that like I'm glad that I have it now, and I don't have social anxiety as bad as I did before coming here, because once again I wasn't around people like that. So yeah, I'm glad that like I've grown so much that I can basically appreciate other people's company. And even though like me and a lot of people don't like the same things, that doesn't mean that I can't be friends with them. It's just that there's some things in our friendship that we won't be doing together. That way I won't have to rely so heavily on like one person. And I can actually, you know, because I want more friends, and I'm glad that like where I work now, I consider 3 more people my friends. And like, even though it's up to us to keep the friendship alive once our contract ends and we're no longer working together, I'm glad that I have them now. So like they help bring me out of my shell a lot. So yeah. Honestly, before I start doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and end this video, because I don't know what I'm talking about or like I don't have like an endless list of things that I wish I had before going to college. But honestly, I'm so thankful for my college experience. Yes, I wish that there are some things that could have been different, but they weren't, and I'm grateful for what I did get. So yeah, let me know if you want to hear more college stories or things about my college experience in the future. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.